Baby, we live. Baby, we live. We back at it. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Ace Anderson, the modern Renaissance man. And we are back, baby. We're back with another beautiful week. It's Monday, y'all. And we're back, man. We back. It's Monday. It's 6 a.m. We back for another live, and this time, we're talking about harnessing the chaos of ADHD. For those of y'all who don't know, I have severe ADHD, and I have done quite the job of managing my my ADHD, man. And this joint is it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy out here in these streets, but we making it happen and we moving and grooving. So we're gonna be talking a little bit about how we can provide some tips on how I still manage to get things done, and some things that you can probably apply to your life, whether or not you have ADHD. These might be some helpful tools for you and whatnot. And so I'm excited for this episode, man. This was gonna be a good week. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. You know, Last night I just did some really good work, managing my schedule, and so I'm gonna talk to y'all a little bit about that. And yeah, I'm just like excited to do some of this stuff with y'all. Let me open up my comments because I want to make sure I'm able to see what y'all are saying, and everything. What's going on, Pure Vegan Cakes? I see you out here. Hey, what's going on, sweetie? Okay, so let me pull this up so I can see what everybody is saying, all the feedback, all the responses. Let me go here. Oops. Okay, there we go. All right. Yeah, so we're back, y'all. We're back this week. I'm really excited about what we have going on this week. We're talking about ADHD. We're talking about harnessing the chaos of it, because I really feel like, honestly, it's a superpower, and it's something that is really either, I think any condition that you have can be used to create a unique experience, and uh, and really be able to build a framework around whatever condition that you have, and use it to your advantage. And so we're going to talk a little bit about how we can use whatever, specifically ADHD, to our advantage. And I recently have built a system. I've been really struggling to build a system on my ADHD, right? I've been like, cause I crave systems, I crave structure, I crave uh, uh, a framework where I can then create, build, write, do stuff, and that has been the biggest challenge, I think. Just trying to find a system that really works, because it's not easy to find like a system that really that works for you. So let me see, what is this? Harnessing the power. All right, cool. So I just recently built a system. I was trying a couple of different things, man, and a lot of things weren't really working out for me, and I just felt myself like feeling like I really got to figure this out, man. I really have to figure this out. And I think I finally got it, y'all. Honestly, I think I finally figured out a good system that works for me. And so we'll talk a little bit about that. Break it down into steps that I do and that I provide to really kind of get stuff done, man. Just trying to get things done. And oops. All right. So the first thing that you wanna that I do is I focus on the mighty trio, right? And my mighty trio are the three P's. We have plan, prioritize, and pace. So those three elements are really powerful factors in how I manage my ADHD and how I get a lot of my creative projects done. Because as you know, I'm an actor, I'm a graphic designer, I'm a photographer, I'm a rapper, I'm a music artist, I'm a producer, I'm a filmmaker, all of these different skills and talents and professions, and somehow yet and still I'm able to get it done. And so the thing that I start with, I always have to focus on is prioritizing. And prioritizing honestly sometimes is a big challenge because, you know, as a multidiscipline artist, I want to do so many things and everything is important, right? Every project that I come up with, every new idea that comes to my brain is like something that's really dope. What's going on, Marvelous? Everything that I do is really important and I want to focus on all aspects of it. So I want to really but so that it doesn't really matter because one of the thing has to take precedent. You have to focus on one thing at least. And so I like to think about my projects as stars in the sky, right? Where you got to decide which ones shine brighter for you. And so I like to use the Eisenhower matrix. Sometimes I don't always get, fully. I don't fully use it to my advantage, or I forget to use it sometimes. But so the Eisenhower matrix here, I'm about to pull this up for y'all so you can kind of see. And sorry, TikTok, if you guys don't have that ability to see what I'm looking at, but. Or maybe I might be able to like show two things, but either way, I'll pull this over. So as you can see with the Eisenhower matrix, you basically split your day up into 4 quadrants, right? One is you have 2 sections on the top and then 2 sections on the side, and those 2, when they cross, it makes 4, right? 2 by 2 is 4. So this 2 by 2 box it starts with urgency at the top and non-urgent. So you want to break your projects down between what's urgent and what's not urgent. Then on the left you have your important and your not important, and you want to break those down in every project into what is important, obviously, what is something that truly has a consequence. It has a big consequence if you don't do it. And then obviously what doesn't have too big of an impact on your life if you don't do it. And when you cross those 2 things together, you have 4 sections. Your first section is your urgent and important. Now, these are the things that you're going to want to do no matter what, because it's both urgent and it's important. And every single task that you've written down, let's say you write down 50 tasks, you're going to split those things up and put them in one of the 4 boxes. And you're going to do all the things that are urgent and important. You're going to schedule out the things that are important, that are not urgent, but still important. And then you're going to want to delegate the things that are urgent but not so important. And then you're going to want to delete and eliminate the things that are not urgent and not important, because they basically don't need to factor into your time or waste your time at all. And the three things that you need to really remember is eliminate, delegate, and automate, right? That's what you always want to be thinking every time you are planning, anytime you're trying to get stuff done. It's eliminate, delegate, automate. Eliminate, delegate, automate. Eliminate, delegate, automate. If you can't, you first start off with your list of 50 things. Write out as many things as you want. Create a list. Don't feel any pressure to make it something specific, or to take some stuff out or whatever. Don't feel any pressure to do anything like that. But then you want to, once you have that list of 100 things, 50 things, whatever, challenge yourself to get to at least 50 though. 50 things that are on your mind, that are pressing, whatever. The first thing you want to do is figure out what can be deleted, right? Because we're trying to eliminate the fluff. And the way to know what you should delete is by knowing what's urgent, what's not urgent, and what's not so important. These are distractions. These are unnecessary tasks, things that you don't necessarily have to do. And it doesn't really matter when you get them done. Like, no one is going to cry about it. And it can get done at some point, maybe somewhere down the line. But if it really doesn't, if it's really not important to you, it should be deleted, right? Then you want to delegate. That's the next thing that you want to focus on. Eliminate, then you delegate. You delegate by giving those tasks. You look at the tasks that are urgent, that should get done, but they're not super important. That means that if they're not done exactly right, and they don't need any crazy specific skill set that you alone possess, then you can give that to somebody else, right? It might be stuff like doing laundry. It might be stuff like writing out your to-do list. It might be stuff like making your juice in the morning, or doing like certain things. If you can delegate it, you want to delegate. That's how you act as a CEO, right? First you eliminate, look at the things that are not urgent, not important. Then you want to delegate, and you look at by looking at the things that are urgent and not important. And then you want to automate. And then automating means that you just put it on a list where you can just easily get it done, right? You easily put it out where in a sense where it's going to happen. It's on the schedule, it's on the calendar, it's in your automation software, it's in your email automations. Like, somehow you've created a system, you've spent the time to build a system where that thing can get done. And so whether it's a certain calendar that you use, or whether it's an app or whatever it is, you want to figure out how you can automate those tasks. The reason why you want to eliminate, automate, delegate is because you're trying to get those 50 tasks down to about 3, honestly. And your 3 are called your MITs, your most important tasks for the day, because you really can only truly focus on about 3 important tasks in a day. I made the mistake, having ADHD, trying to do 10 things in one day, and that's way too much. I tried to dwindle it down to 5, but it wasn't really working out for me. So you want to really focus on 10 on I'm sorry, on 3 things that you can get done and focus on for your specific day. One day, these are the 3 things that I can tackle, and I'm gonna go at them full force. And this might be one of them, right? Just literally prioritizing might be one of the most important things that you need to do in the day. You need to focus on deleting your tasks, eliminating your tasks. You need to focus on delegating your tasks, and then you need to focus on building a system to automate it. That's the most important thing that you need to do so that you can have all the time you need to then focus on the things that you must do, the important and urgent things, right? So those are the things that you probably should start with, right? So that's kind of the framework. You eliminate, delegate, then you automate. Now, um, now now you have kind of a framework for how to move things forward with that. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. If you need any other tips or tricks or things that I use, tools that I use, that's just one aspect of it. So uh, that's the mighty trio. You're gonna prioritize, you're going to plan everything out, right? That's part of scheduling. And then you're going to pace yourself. You're not going to do too many tasks. And because also what I realize is that sometimes when I do that, I set myself up for failure. I set myself up to be disappointed that I didn't get all 10 tasks done. And that's not good. Like, you want to feel good about your day. You want to feel good about the things that you got done. And if you're overwhelming yourself with tasks, then you're probably not going to feel good about what you got done. So that's something to think about, to consider when you're building out your to-do list and you're prioritizing. You want to prioritize, you want to plan, and you want to pace yourself, right? So that we learned how to prioritize, we learned how to plan out our day, and then now we need to just give ourselves some space to be able to grow and do what we need to do. All right, so then next we have time blocking. This is really important. This is kind of a game changer. Just giving yourself blocks of time to do things in each day. Like, what I've done for my life is I've split my life up into 5 key segments. And so let's say we have these tasks let's say we start with our 50, or let's say we start with our 50 tasks. Then what I like to do is I have 5 highlighters, right? 4 to 5 highlighters or colors or whatever. Just choose 4 to 5 colors. And then you just start grouping the things together. You don't worry about what they are. You just figure out, okay, this and this goes together, so I'm going to put this color on it. Then this and this other thing go together, so I'm going to put this color on it. And once you get all of that together, then now you have an understanding of the 5 areas of your life that matter most to you and that keep kind of coming up. And then based off of those colors, and you can see the types of things that they are, you can see, oh, well, all of these things are themed in such and such a way. So I'll give you an example. My life is split up into 5 segments. When I did this for myself, the segments that I came up with were personal. So this involved anything that had to do with, adulting, paying bills, going to the doctor, doing my taxes, writing a check, stuff like that. It's stuff that made that was just personal to me, right? Things that had to do with my health, things that had to do with just like living, right? Like, if they didn't do these things, they would they would not be good for me. And so I started off there. Then the next thing that I did was I had personal acting or performance. So that involved any music stuff, theater, you know, live, anything that involved me performing or creating something myself. Then I had my creative. So that involved anything that was in my actual business. So graphic design stuff, administrative stuff for my businesses, building out emails, working with clients. Typically, that's what it involved. Anything that involved me working with other clients. Then I had entertainment or production, which involved anything that required me to build the project out myself. So this would involve my feature film, my short films, my music videos, editing my comedy reels, and designing, creating productions, right? And that was any project that was personal to me that wasn't necessarily run by another client, but it didn't just involve myself. So we have personal, performance, creative, entertainment, and the last thing is fun, right? Things that would be just like hanging out with a friend, going to a movie, playing a video game. All of those aspects were involving fun. So that was the 5 segments of my life. And I realized like those are the things that keep coming up, and I want to make sure that I touch on those things, if not every day, at least every week. And that's what would make me feel good. Like I'm tackling all of these areas of my life, right? And so I have these areas. I now can segment out each day, and I can choose a color, and it's kind of like, you know, creating a mosaic of your day, you know, and you want to be intentional about each piece that you put into this mosaic. And I love looking at my calendar now because it's like this beautiful, it's this really beautiful, it's this beautiful mosaic. It's just so colorful and it feels organized. And as I was saying before, you know, I really love structure. And so, so you want to make sure that you block out time for yourself, and you really put that into, and you put that into, you segment everything out, and so that is that. Then we have apps, right? We could talk a little bit about apps. I love apps. You know, my wife can tell you, my friends can tell you. I always got some new app that I'm using and I'm working on, or, you know, that I'm in some way incorporating into my schedule or whatever. And it's kind of a problem because I have ADHD, so I'll jump around from app to app, and like would be 1 month where this is the app that I'm using and I love it. And I'm focusing only on this thing, you know, and sometimes that cannot, you know, be the healthiest. So anyway, but I have a couple of key apps that I really like to use, and I'll give you an example of those. So I use Trello. I really love Trello. Trello's great because it's like a Kanban workspace spreadsheet, but you can put a lot of information into it. You can save photos into it, and you can kind of build out your structure, your day, and then move elements to each, I guess, board. Well, you have boards, then it's a little bit challenging to explain, but if you've ever tried Trello, you can try it for free. I think there's like 10, like you can have up to 10 workspaces or boards, and then from there you can have like cards and stuff. You could put a lot of stuff. You can make it very robust for free. And another thing I like about Trello is that you can put a lot of information in there. You can save photos to it. You can save audio. So I've even done stuff like, let's say I record myself singing a song and I go to my voice memos. You can then take that voice memo and put it into one of your Trello boards and just have it saved there. And so that's really helpful. I also have, I use my calendar that I use is Fantastical or Fantastical, which is a really good, it's a really good task. It's a really good like calendar to me because I felt like, I like to use my reminders, my Apple reminders, but the problem was if I would check my calendar, I would forget that what was on my Apple reminders. And so I really desperately wanted to be able to see my reminders list, my to-do list on my actual calendar. And so Fantastic allows you to be able to show your task list on your calendar. And so that's really cool to me. I started to try to use Motion, but I didn't really get as much into it because I felt like I had to sort of shift what I was doing from Fantastical to Motion, and some of the things were like overlapping, and it was just a lot to learn another new app, another new calendar thing, and it wasn't really efficient. So I was paying for two things at once, and I was just like, all right, I'm just going to choose one of these for now. I think I might want to try Motion again. I keep hearing good things about it, but Fantastical has been working for me so far, and especially with managing certain tasks. The next thing, sorry, y'all. The next task that I like to use, or the next app that I use often is called Notion. Now, Notion has become my new favorite app. Honestly, I'm not even gonna front. It is such a powerful note-taking app. It's better than Google Docs. I used to use Google Docs all the time, but I wasn't able to organize things the way that I want to. And Notion is so powerful because it's like Excel meets Google Docs meets Note Taker meets with some AI features in there, and it allows you to basically build out your own customized to-do list, calendar, planner, an ability to see a heads-up display of your work. Like if you don't know what I'm talking about, go onto Pinterest and look up Notion. It's really, really a strong, powerful app, and I think it's really helpful for people who have ADHD because it allows you to see everything in one space, and you can build it up as much as you want. And so, if you look up some of these Notion templates, like people have gone really, really in on creating like the perfect type of template, and so I really like this app, and I've started to build out like everything that I do into Notion, and you can backlink it. You can work on like blog posts and formatting, and you can do so many things with it that it's really powerful. I haven't seen anything like it, honestly, and I think you should get it. Like that didn't sell you on it. I don't know what will, but it's honestly been like my digital dojo, as of late because I truly have been looking for something where I can just look at all of the things that I have to work on, all my if I come up with a idea, I write so much stuff. I write poetry, I write marketing stuff, I write scripts, I write comedy videos, I write YouTube videos, and I have all of these different writings that I put all the way in. I put in all these different apps and sections, and in a lot of ways, like I get overwhelmed, and so yeah, Notion definitely would recommend. Then the next thing that you want to do, number 4, is the art of saying no. Man, like as somebody with ADHD, like it's easy to want to say yes to everything. Everything excites you, but you have to recognize that while enthusiasm and passion are superpowers, so can your ability to delineate truly what is right for you, and your ability to say, this is not right for me. I don't want to do this. I don't think I need to do this. And the two phrases that you need to get better about using are no and not now, right? So it's either no or not right now. I can't do either. I can't do this right. I can't do this today. Or I don't want to do this at all. I don't think that this is going to help my overall mission. And you constantly want to be asking yourself that and be checking in with yourself. Is this helping my overall mission? What's going on, Shy? Thanks for showing up. Good morning. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. The next thing that you want to look at is building out your routine, right? You want to have a good routine. Now, there are a lot of different theories or what is schools of thought on this idea of routines, right? So some people say that you should have a routine every day that you do, and make that work for you so you can touch on the things that you want to touch on, and you want to get like a really good morning routine, and then just so right before you get into work. And some people say that you shouldn't have a morning routine at all. You should just get right into work. Your work should be your morning routine. And I believe that life is about balance. Surprise, surprise. I think that it's really important to say there are a couple of things that I want to get done today, every day, but the main thing that I want to do is get my work done, because I'm focused on getting rich, right? That I am focused on making my $1 million, and I want to get to that as quickly as possible. And so you get up early, and you don't want to waste your time doing, just waste 2 hours spending on your morning routine when you can have spent those 2 hours on getting to the bag, right? But I think it's important for mental health to be able to have those things that you do, whether that's, drinking some tea, whether that's stretching for 30 seconds to a minute, whether that's doing a few push-ups. You don't got to go crazy. So I've given myself 10 simple tasks to do every day before I engage with the day. I used to say before I touch my cell phone, but a lot of stuff involves me using my electronic devices in some way. But I have now gotten to a place where I can truly avoid apps like Instagram and TikTok and social media in the morning, or even checking my email. I don't really want to get into the habit of checking my email, checking my bank account, checking all these things, like, locking myself into the yesterday, right? Worries of the past or concerns, who texted me and all of that stuff. But it started with just not touching my phone at all? What are 10 things I can do before I touch my cell phone? And for me, that was, drink water. I always want to make sure I drink a good amount of water, at least 16 ounces when I wake up. And then from there, I do, from there, I do 10 push-ups, at least 10 push-ups, and I brush my teeth. I try to drink some type of beverage, whether that's tea or some juice in the morning. Drink some type of beverage other than water, just to give me a little kick of energy. And then I like to meditate, at least practice 5 minutes of meditation, just sitting, just not concerning myself with the day, right? I used to watch my mind movie in the morning, but I try to do that for my nightly routine. I think that nightly routine is just as important as a daily routine. But then I would watch my mind movie. A mind movie is basically like a video version of a vision board. And then a couple of other things I used to like eat a bagel or I used to wash my face in the morning and different stuff like that. And like just finding those couple of things that I could do every single morning. I think now I do, I have my Spanish app that I do, and it's just really healthy, I think. So you want to really find your routine, that's something that you can focus on every day. But don't make it too crazy. Maybe it's just 5 things for you that you do before you get into your work. Before you start grinding hard, you just want to give yourself at least 5% of the day. And that's, I think, like an hour and 10 minutes or something like that. And I think you can do that, giving yourself 5% of the day. So then next thing you want to do is build out your workspace. Make sure you minimize distractions in your workspace. You want to, this could mean stuff like having a clear desk, wearing noise canceling headphones. I don't have my headphones with me right now, and actually this iRobot Roomba is running, and I'm surprised that I haven't been getting distracted by that. But I guess it is kind of like white noise in the background a little bit. But I have I love to wear my noise canceling headphones. I've also discovered ADHD music on YouTube, which has been a total game changer. ADHD music. If you haven't tried it, man, I would just Google ADHD music on YouTube, search it, and you'll find a plethora of 10, 12, 20-hour videos that just play consistent music. And what it does for me, it's so consistent, it just calms me and it puts me into work mode immediately. I'll be hearing the distractions in the house. I live with three women, and they'll be doing stuff, saying stuff. My mom's working, my wife is cooking stuff, she's singing, or they're playing the TV, there's music playing in the house. I feel I can get so distracted, and I'm hearing my wife huff and puff about something that she's upset about, and I find I put my headphones on and I just go search ADHD music. I have one specific one that I listen to every time, and it just works every single time. I just throw that on, I play it in the background, and I just allow myself to just focus, man. It feels like quiet, but it also feels like I'm in a spirit of just being able to move, just work. I don't know, it's just peaceful for me. And lastly, not lastly, I think we have 2 more. So the other thing is you want to have an accountability ally, right? You want to have somebody that can you can kind of talk to about your schedule, about the things that you want to do, and then have somebody help you stay on task. That could be a friend, a colleague. That it could be, your spouse if you have one, and just reach out to them and say, hey, look, I want to do this thing. I'm going to call you every day and just check in. And if you can just like go through this list of things with me and make sure that I'm staying on track, give me some encouragement. And I can do the same for you, and that can kind of be a mutual thing, just to have somebody to rely on when you're creating stuff, right? And then the other thing that you want to do is like, because all right, so going back to that is that you don't want to feel the you don't want to feel isolated, right? I feel like that's the enemy of productivity, is isolation. Us as humans, we are very social creatures. It's really important for us to be together, to be around each other. We crave camaraderie, and so that's something that you want to make sure that you're using to your advantage. Use your friend group, use your family, and just say, hey, look, I'm working on this thing. This is what I want to do every day, and just remind me of it, because sometimes I get lost. I have ADHD. I get lost a little bit, and I focus on these other things, and so I'm just going to call you and just remind me what I'm supposed to be working on. Remind me what I said my priorities were. Remind me what I said was important. Remind me what I said I was supposed to delegate and what I'm supposed to automate, and outsource. That's part of delegation, is finding an accountability partner, right? You can't be, as much as we want to be, you can't always just be accountable for yourself, and so you have to lean on a support system. And so that's something that's very important. And then lastly is that you have to recognize that whether it's a loss or a win, it's a win, because the win is something obviously to celebrate. And it doesn't matter how small, how big it is, the win is important. You should always celebrate yourself. You should always treat yourself whenever you have a win, whenever you make progress, because that's all we're concerned with, is making progress, even if that's taking one little step, right? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And if you are stepping towards your future, then celebrate it, right? Give yourself a high five, play some video games because you faced a setback, or you finished a task, and then if you and then the next thing is, whether it's a loss, that's a learning opportunity, right? Like I love the saying, sometimes you win and sometimes you learn, and because it's true, like you truly always win. Is every time you lose, it's a win, because you're learning something, you're growing, and so it's important to remember that if you lose, it's like, okay, you can now reevaluate. You can do an ARR, right, or AAR, sorry, an after action report. So you can always go back and look at the things that you need to work on in order to maintain that, in order to keep that, in order to get that win again, right? So every win or loss is a step towards your future, is a step towards your destiny and everything that you want to create. It's a step towards heaven, because we can recognize that everything is not perfect right now. Things ebb and flow, and they get better and they get worse, and and I think I don't think things get worse. I think things always get better, because we just naturally we move towards growth. We move towards better. Like we learn from the things that happen in our lives, And when things do seemingly get worse in the short term, it's probably for the best in the long term. And, you know, and there's that saying that, like, the person is praying to God, like, why am I doing this? It's like, well, I had to make you do this or else you wouldn't move. I had to make it hard. I had to make it uncomfortable, or else you'd never move from where you are. And where you are is not really where you want to be. And so I love that idea. I love the thought that, God makes things challenging for us so that we can grow from it, and we can learn, and we can move forward and get out of the comfort zone, get out of the comfort of the 9 to 5, and I'm just gonna grind and work for somebody else, and put my time in, and hopefully I can retire young enough to enjoy it, right? And as we're seeing, like, it's harder and harder to be able to retire and actually retire at a young age and be able to actually enjoy it. Because when you get 65, 75, if you're not really focused on your health, the likelihood that you're going to be traveling and going places and doing things that are, risky, then it's very low. So you might as well do that stuff now, take advantage of those things now, and do what you can in this day to take risks, right? And you learn from the losses, you learn from the things you didn't do. And, like, I'll never forget when Gabrielle and I were first planning one of our trips, and we were going to Cincinnati, and I allowed G to figure out the Airbnb situation. And bro, do you look at your comments? Of course I look at my comments. So I allowed G to figure out the Airbnb situation. I was like, she's great at planning. She knows what I like, and she'll take care of it. She picked the cheapest option, which was, honestly, it seemed like a halfway house in Kentucky. There was, several cats and dogs everywhere. There were other people staying in the house. That it was really, really podunk, just to say the least. It was not in the best neighborhood, and she was trying to save money. Like, the pictures looked kind of nice, but she was mainly like, all right, we can kind of save money. We stayed there one night because we got there. We were so tired. We stayed there one night, and and our friend who was staying with us was like, should we pick somewhere else? And I was like, yes, definitely. And I went on Airbnb, and I, like, found another spot that was in Cincinnati, and it was like $200 more or something like that. But afterwards, I was like, I learned my lesson. I'm like, you can't put a price on peace of mind, right? And two, I really need to review whatever Airbnb that Gabrielle chooses, because I need to make sure that it's going to be good for us, right? So that's a lesson that I had learned through progress, through trial, man. But it wasn't like, it wasn't like I was going to learn that lesson if we never went on the trip, or if we like, oh, we want to get it right, we want to get it perfect. Like, it's never going to be perfect, So that's a fun little lesson that I learned, but it's been a win, because pretty much every Airbnb that we've stayed in has been beautiful and nice and exactly what we want, and we haven't had many complaints about the ones that we've chose, because we've gotten better about choosing Airbnbs now. And so I take that time in Kentucky as a win. Right, we learned our lesson. Our friend was allergic to cats too, so there was all these cats everywhere, cat hair. She was like sniffling, and like we had to go to CVS and get her some Benadryl or something, it was just a whole other slew of issues. But we ended that trip getting like some of the best vegan pizza that we've ever had, and it was just a really fun time. Um, so anyway, I say all that to say, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Now, y'all, it has been real. This has been a amazing live stream talking about harnessing the chaos of ADHD. If any of you are anything like me, then your mind kind of goes everywhere, and you get excited about all these different new tasks and new ideas that come to your mind. And hopefully, I've given you some really powerful tips on how to manage that. Just to go back through the list, we started off with the mighty trio, the prioritizing, planning, and pacing yourself. We talked a little bit about the Eisenhower matrix, right? I showed you a little bit of that. This is the matrix. And then we went down into time blocking. We talked about how we can, block out our time to create a mosaic on our calendar, breaking down each day into little bits and chunks. Then we talked about number 3 was all the apps that I like to use. I think you can use apps to your advantage. You know, there's there was like, oh, there's an app for that. That used to be the campaign for Apple. And it's true. There typically is an app for that. But my mom just started a YouTube channel called "There's No App for That," and which I think is kind of clever. It's about like doing the work, making sure you have to do the work, no matter whether there's an app or all these other things. We have all these external tools, but it still comes down to you having to do the work. Then number 4, we talked about the art of saying no, learning how to, respond politely, but also just being like, I can't do that right now. This is not helping my particular vision of my future. It's not contributing to it. Then number 5, we talked about having a daily routine, finding a rhythm and a pattern, and, not to actually, you don't always have to do a full-fledged 3-hour morning routine. I'm getting all these things done. You have to make sure to balance that out. But you want to have a daily schedule, like something that you can consistently do every day. It's going to make you feel really good at the end of the day. It's going to make you feel empowered because you're building your steps brick by brick, day by day. And then next thing we talked about was eliminating distractions, having a really clean workspace, right? Making sure that you have an area where you can truly create. Like you want to have noise canceling headphones, have a whiteboard where you put things on and stuff like that. And then number 7, we talked about having accountability allies, calling a friend, having them support you. And then lastly, we talked about celebrating the wins and learning from the losses. So I hope all of those tools were really helpful. Next week, I'm not sure what we'll be talking about, but we'll be back next Monday, 6 a.m. I'm changing it to 6 a.m. because what I realized is that I like to wake up at 4:35, but if I wake up at 4:30 and then I start my live stream at 5, then I haven't really given myself the time that I need in the morning. And also, I feel like, I want to give y'all the time in the morning. So I still encourage you guys to wake up at 5 in the morning. I encourage you all to get to bed at 9 p.m. if you can. Start getting things ready and just try to nail that thing every day, at least Monday through Friday or Sunday through Thursday, right? We want to make sure on Sunday night we're hitting the week. We're hitting the ground running strong. I'm combining a bunch of phrases, but Sunday night, get to bed 9, 10 o'clock at the latest, and then just get the week started. Get up at 4:30 if you can. And the goal, the reason why you want to get to bed as early as possible is because you want to do your best to not wake up with an alarm. You want to wake up without an alarm if you can, because it trains your body, I think, what is it, your biological clock, or your circadian rhythm, I guess, that you have within yourself, that will allow yourself to wake up without feeling groggy. Because sometimes if I wake up, I know if I wake up with an alarm, I feel very, very groggy. I woke up with an alarm this morning, but I always have it as a safety because I want to make sure I'm getting my live stream done. Then, and so anyway, I say all that to say, I will be doing these every week, every Monday at 6 a.m. Y'all can expect to find me. I'll see y'all next week, next Monday. I do also want to do this more, so I'm gonna, get some feedback from y'all. I'd love to hear your feedback about, how often I should do these, whether they should always be in the morning. I can do more 6 in the morning stuff, maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday or something. Just to kind of have more opportunities to talk to y'all. And let me know if there's things that you want to talk about, or lessons that you want to learn, or things we should just discuss, and we can just make it a conversation. Love the comments, love the support, and thank you guys for watching. As always, I want you to remember to align yourself with truth, trust, patience, and I promise y'all, you will ace your life. Ooh, dang, I messed up. Oh, man, hold on. I'm going to do that one more time. I'll do it one more time so we have a strong finish. I want you to remember always to align yourself with truth, trust, and patience, and I promise you will ace your life. Peace out, y'all.